Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2016 general reading. I continue to use the Gilded Tarot deck, drawing 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week with an additional card as your overall theme and general feeling of the month. These are general readings, so if they don't apply or resonate the same with everyone who watches, I suggest you check your rising and your moon sign as well. I know you probably get tired of me starting every video that way, but I always have to let people know that these are general, and while they're going to resonate dead on for some people, they're not for others. And also depending on your natal chart and really what's going on astrologically, sometimes our rising and our moon sign is more spot on for some months than others. So again, you should check your rising and your moon sign as well. Every month you should anyway, I do. So thank you to those of you who are continuing to reach out to me for personal readings. I always say it's an honor and a pleasure, and I mean it too. You guys all make such a huge impact in my life, and each of your stories and issues that we deal with and look at in the readings are pretty impactful for both of us. So thank you for those of you who allow me the opportunity to read for you. Thank you to those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Thank you for all your comments and feedbacks, both on my channel itself and the ones I get in email. I don't always have the chance to respond to each and every one of them personally, but I do read each and every one of them, and I enjoy doing that so much, so please keep them coming. For those of you who are interested in a personal reading, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and that'll give you a little more detail about what I do and my contact information. And you can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do readings full time, and I work very hard to accommodate your schedule, and my current turnaround time is around 24 to 48, 3 days at the most. So again, if you're interested in that, just send me an email and we'll go from there. So let's get into this reading. This is for Gemini for March 2016. Gemini, twins. What does March 2016 hold for you? March 2016, Gemini, March 2016. Okay. We begin the month with the Eight of Cups, followed by the Strength card, the Page of Pentacles, followed by the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Ten of Cups, and the Three of Cups, followed by the Four of Wands. And as your overall theme and general feeling of the month, your crowning card from the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. Interesting. Let's take a look, Gemini. Looks like a month of wrapping up cycles and starting a new path, and it looks very bright and very beautiful, Gemini. So let's begin. We start with the Eight of Cups. Cups, the element being that of water, and cups is a nice, watery, lovely suit about our emotions, love, and relationships, how we relate to the people around us, our emotional landscape and atmosphere. The Eight of Cups is a card about moving on, and I see that in this that you're beginning a new path. It looks like for some of you, those for whom this reading resonates, it looks like you're beginning a new path. You're just at the beginning of it because the one that you're currently on either has been disappointing, not fulfilling in some way. You've just reached a point where you're done with it. You can see on this card that there are 8 cups behind this man on the ground. Some of them are upright and still full, and some of them are tipped over. The implication being that this man has tasted and drunk from most, if not all, of these cups. And while he may have found them rewarding or satisfying or distracting for a time, ultimately they were not what he wanted. And so he has made the decision to move on, very definitively move on. You can see that he's dressed for travel. He has his cloak on, his hat on. He's holding his walking staff in his hand. He's surveying the horizon. Now, sometimes I get the impression, Gemini, from the looks of the terrain that this man is about to go over, that the path that you're ready to embark on can sometimes be a little rough. The terrain looks to be a little rugged. But again, this is a card of making the decision to move on from something or having made the decision to move on from something. So I think, Gemini, around the end of February, going into March 2016, it looks like you've reached a point with a situation. For some of you, this could resonate as a person or a relationship, although I'm seeing this, there's a variety of Pentacles cards in here, and I'm seeing, and in the center too. So I'm seeing this primarily for a larger portion of you as something to do with your tangible world, job, career, finances. For others of you, it may represent property, a house, or some kind of property. You've reached a point in a situation where you've made the decision to move on. It, the Eight of Cups is a card that can also represent moving on because something you've reached a decision that something isn't, it didn't turn out the way you wanted to. There's been a quite a significant disappointment in something. You're just done with something. Perhaps it's something you've tried for a time, as is symbolized by some of these cups which have been drunk from. But ultimately, it's not been what you wanted it to be. You didn't find it fulfilling, whether it was a job or career or a relationship, or again, for some of you, I'm getting the impression for a small portion of you, this is about a home somehow, a piece of property. You're ready to move on. You're either right in that decision-making process, you want to move on, or you've already made the decision and you're pulling together resources, you're beginning a new path. So the Eight of Cups is accompanied by the Strength card, beautiful major arcana card. This card represents strength. Now, it is a major arcana card, and I do like to refer to major arcana cards as fingers of the divine. They represent the energies of God's spirit in the universe, your angels and guides, whatever your spiritual foundation is, coming in to affect us, to aid us, to assist us in some way, to help remove something that needs to be removed from our life, or for a piece of advice. And the presence of major arcana cards, Gemini, signifies something of significance and importance in our life. And the strength card is a beautiful card. It speaks of strength, but it speaks of a kind of a quiet, gentle sort of strength. This isn't the muscles and brawn, wave your sword around kind of strength. This represents, um, uh, taming this wild beast with honey rather than vinegar. Catch that phrase, catching more flies with honey than with vinegar. And it also is a card that points towards reaching a stage of something of self-acceptance and self-peace. You can see that this woman has tamed this wild beast. There's a chain around his neck, and she's holding the other one in his hand. Although the chain that's around this lion's neck is very gentle. It's not tight at all. He may not even notice that it's there, and she's certainly not tugging or pulling at it. This woman is also, I think, it's a very good physical representation of strength, which is what this woman is exhibiting. You can see that she's striding forward confidently into her future. And I always see her in motion because of the flow of her dress and her hair kind of streaming behind her. And her head is not just up as if she's looking at the path, but it is way up as if she's striding forward very confidently and very assuredly into the future with strength and confidence, which is what this card represents. And so I think, Gemini, as you're ending February 2016 and going into March, you've reached a point with a situation. Again, for the larger portion of you, I'm getting a feeling this has something to do with your physical, tangible world, a job, a career path of some kind, um, perhaps a business. And you're embarking on a new path. For some of you, this may represent having reached a point in the building up of something where you're ready to actually manifest it in an outwardly way. But I think for the majority of you, what you're wrapping up, you also have two tens in this reading, and tens represent the ending of cycles. You've just reached a point where you're just decided you're done with something. It hasn't played out the way you've wanted it to. There's been a disappointment over something. You're wrapping it up. You're doing what you have to do so that you can embark on the next leg of your journey to begin this new path. And it's a decision that has required a fair amount of strength for you. And it's a path that you're going to walk is one that is not only going to require strength from you, but it's strength that you already possess, Gemini, and it's strength you're going to gain along the way too. The presence of a major arcana card pretty much assures that, and it assures that whatever strength, whatever type of strength you need on this path, you're going to find, and it's going to be provided to you. But it's more of it's more of a quiet, gentle strength, as the woman on this card kind of symbolizes. The kind of inner strength that comes from being at peace with yourself. It's a card also of self-acceptance and self-empowerment. And I think I really feel, Gemini, I'm getting the feeling that for those of you who have made this decision, you've made this decision to end something, to wrap something up, to cut ties with something. You've finally gotten to the point where you're like, this is not what I want. This isn't serving me well. And it has actually added to a sense of self-confidence that you have somehow. It's been a very empowering kind of process for you as you're looking forward into the horizon. And we move into the on or around the second week of March, where it looks like this path begins. We have the Page of Pentacles, followed by the Nine of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles, the element is that of Earth, and Pentacles is a suit that represents our earthly, tangible environment, typically things we can see and touch and feel. And it most often represents things like money, finances, job, resources, property, assets, that sort of thing, physical, tangible things. And the Page of Pentacles, pages can represent messages, messengers. They can also represent young people or actual children in your life. Um, the Page of Pentacles, it's also about apprenticeship too. And I feel like whatever this new path you're starting on, or whatever this next leg of the journey you are moving on to, Gemini, you're going to be learning quite a bit along the path. And I feel like for those of you for whom this is a new path, particularly in job or career or some kind of entrepreneurial project, there's going to be some kind of schooling, some kind of education involved. There's going to be a lot to do with learning about this, and you have specific goals. I feel like you have specific goals, and what you're doing is actually you're being very intentional and focused on learning about what it is that you need to accomplish in order to reach your goals. For some of you, this new path you've chosen may actually be a school where you have some specific goals, and you're taking some classes to learn about something new, or taking classes to learn how to do something better so that you can achieve specific goals. I feel like there's specific goals in mind here. For others of you, this is going to resonate as beginning a new job, beginning a new project, a new career path of some kind. I think maybe some of you have switched jobs, and it's something that has the potential to um, even if it's entry level, it feels like it has the potential to really have a really good foundation, and something that you can build on as time goes on, and that it's really going to lead you down a path of prosperity. There's a lot of potential in the Page of Pentacles. There's also, again, a very student kind of apprenticeship sort of feel about this. It's a page, not a knight or a queen or a king. But it's still a pretty steady, grounded, practical feel. It is Pentacles after all. And this young man, there's a very enthusiastic, kind of young, fresh air about it. And it's learning and taking things at the beginning. It's the beginning of something, and you're learning about it, the beginning of something. Um, it has a nice, bright feel to it. And it's accompanied by the Nine of Pentacles, which is a great card to have. This is another card of self-sufficiency, independence, self-empowerment, which actually is a great card to be sitting right next to the Strength card, which is also a great major arcana representation of that. The Nine of Pentacles points towards an individual who has reached a point in her life or his life. She is obviously enjoying a fair amount of physical luxuries and comforts in her surrounding environment. She's standing out in her beautiful garden, dressed in a beautiful gown. It looks like she's able to take very good care of herself. There's all these beautiful pentacles growing on the bush, and it just looks like a very good, a very nice, physically comfortable and luxurious environment. And this card is also about, again, it's a very good card to be sitting next to the Strength card. This is a card about being self-empowered and being confident and assured, which this woman has a very deep, quiet, but strong inner sense of that, because every single thing in her environment that she's enjoying, she has earned by dint of her own efforts, her own labor, her own talent, her own work. This is someone who's had very little, if anything, handed to her on a silver platter. She's worked very hard for everything that she's gotten. Everything that she's enjoyed is a representation of the path that she's walked, and how long and how dedicated and strong she's been on this path. And Gemini, I feel like paired with the Page of Pentacles, This new path that you're starting on, again, for some of you, this is going to be a new job. It looks like it's going to be an entry-level job of some kind. For others, it's going to be the building up of a business. Uh, for some of you, again, I'm getting, and I think, again, it's just a very small handful portion of you, but it's about a home somehow. You're moving from one home to another. You haven't been happy at the place that you're at, and you're actually physically relocating to another place. Maybe the Page of Pentacles represents that it's kind of a fixer-upper, but it looks like it has really good potential, and it has potential to be built on down the road. Again, for others of you for whom this may resonate as a relationship reading, um, I'm actually just not getting that off of this reading at all. So if that's what you're looking for, you may want to check your rising and your moon sign as well. But of course, you can apply these same energies to a relationship. But if it is, it looks like you've been very disappointed in one and you're jumping right into another one. So I don't know how well that's going to resonate for those of you watching. But for the rest of you, again, it's about your physical, tangible world, job, career, a home move for some of you, but one that looks very good, very bright, particularly in the longevity of it. Right next to the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, which is great. It means that the decision that you've made to start on this path is really one that has a lot of potential to be built up in the future and really lead to a lot of prosperity and abundance in terms of financial stability and comfort. Right next to that, on or around the third week of March 2016, we have the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Ten of Cups. Two tens together, which is, and two very beautiful cards too. Tens representing the ends of cycles, the culmination of something, the wrapping up of something, the coming full circle of something. It looks like this new path that you're starting on, Gemini, this decision that you've made, has been really a very good one. And it's actually been a very practical, very realistic and practical decision too. It looks like you went into it with a fair amount of foresight, but that it's really going to pay off for you in the long run, which is what the Ten of Pentacles points to. Again, we have that earthly, tangible, earth element sign of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles represents financial and earthly, tangible, physical abundance, prosperity, wealth, health and well-being as well, in a step-by-step kind of long-term down the road. This isn't a very immediate sort of card, but this card represents the slow, steady, and very successful building of the foundation of something, step by step, in a way that pays off down the long run in terms of the health and longevity of something. If you're beginning a new job, a new career, a new business, it looks like where you're at right now it looks like you have some great long-term goals in that Nine of Pentacles. You're just kind of at the starting off place. And but this path looks very good. It looks very grounded, realistic, practical, and it looks like it's really going to pay off. It's going to create a really good, solid foundation for you down the road. And there's also a strong element of family about this card as well, and it's paired with the Ten of Cups, which is the happy home card, as I like to call it. And you also have the Four of Wands, which is, unexpected happy blessings that have its roots in home as well. The Ten of Pentacles can represent family money, family finances, a family business. It represents, again, the slow but successful building up of the foundation of something that has the great potential to not only benefit you, but to benefit your family in some way, or those in your close sphere, those you consider family, or the people that you provide for. So this path that you've embarked on, which looks like it has a great promise of prosperity and abundance and a solid foundation moving forward down the road of this, is going to affect more than just you, Gemini. It looks like it's going to have a very positive and beneficial effect on your family, those you consider to be family, and those in your closest sphere that you love and care about. That Ten of Pentacles is also paired with the Ten of Cups, which is the happy home card, or the happily ever after card. I've heard other readers refer to it too. The artist painted this picture almost as a rendition of what he or she was coming home to at the end of the day. You can see there's this lovely, cozy looking cottage in the background, which just almost oozes the idea of home, of cozy home. We're not talking about a great big, huge, beautiful, cold 15-bedroom mansion or anything like that, but this just says home. You just know that inside there's going to be a fireplace and a dog lying in front of the fireplace and your favorite pair of slippers. in front of your recliner. It just has a very cozy, warm, very solid sense of continuity feel about it. And you can see there's a woman, two women out in front. One could it could imply that it's a woman and her daughter, and they're just kind of enjoying the day and doing some domestic things. It's just a beautiful day. There's a rainbow of goblets here. This card represents kind of a coming home sort of feeling, and it is a 10, so it's about things coming full circle of finally having everything come together and fit. You know, it's the happy home card. It speaks of wholeness and integration and comfort and just happiness, but happiness not in kind of a winning the lottery, you know, shooting star kind of way, but just in that beautiful, grounded, I love my life. I love where I'm at. Everything just feels right. Kind of that God's in his heaven and all's right with the world sort of feeling. It's a beautiful card to have. And it's, you know, and paired with the Ten of Pentacles, Gemini, it's this path looks to be wildly successful, but in a practical, grounded way, it looks like it's going to build up a very solid foundation for you and your family. Not just, I mean, the Pentacles ensures the abundance and prosperity in a physical, tangible way, like money, finances, your lifestyle, the home that you live in. But the Ten of Cups also represents that this path is also going to benefit you and your family, your loved ones, in a way that goes far beyond just dollars and cents, that it's actually going to lead to just a sense of wholeness and integration and harmony and a very strong, just a feeling of being rooted, you know, flower pots in the windowsill, a place that you can finally put your roots down. It looks to be just a phenomenal path and a very wise decision on your part. And again, for some of you, this is going to represent an actual physical location from one place where you weren't all that happy to finally being able to start the path or begin to pull the resources together to have a physically move to another location. That looks like it's going to be much better, even though there may need to be some work done on it, but that it's a place you're going to be at for quite a long time. And for those of you who are starting a new job or a new business, starting a new path in a more pentacles, tangible sort of way. Again, it looks like it has huge potential to be very solid and something that you're going to be with for a long time and something that's going to benefit you and your loved ones for quite some time to come. And, you know, we wrap up the end of the month in a celebratory kind of way. Maybe you've closed the deal on the house, or you're celebrating that new job, or the successful starting or opening of a business. Whatever it is, there's cause for celebration because at or towards the end of the month, we have the Three of Cups accompanied by the Four of Wands. Such a strong theme of happy home and family harmony in this reading, Gemini, and it's really quite lovely to see. And it all began with this difficult decision about reaching a place where you weren't satisfied, you weren't fulfilled, things weren't working out the way that you really wanted to. You were just done. It looks like it was a decision that required a fair amount of strength, and walking this road has required a fair amount of strength, but that you've also gained quite a bit of strength too, and a sense of self-empowerment and self-acceptance of being able to begin to say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to manifest, and I'm actually beginning it in a physical, tangible way. It looks like you're at the start of it. There's still work to be done, a path to be walked, but you have very specific, definite goals, and they are going to pay off for you, Gemini. And they're not only going to make you feel happy and comfortable in your life, but also those that you love as well. Because we have the Three of Cups, the celebration card, at or towards the end of March 2016. And this is a card of celebration. It's a card of having fun, of celebrating something. There's a very strong social theme to this card. So it could represent having an actual party, or a party being thrown for you, or, you know, for those of you beginning a business or opening up something new, perhaps you're having an opening open of business party. For those of you perhaps who have moved to a new home and you're just so happy, maybe you're having an open house, a housewarming party of some kind. But there's a very strong social theme to this about celebrating something, but celebrating it in the company of people that you really like, that you really feel good and comfortable with. It's a lovely card to have, very celebratory card, as you can see by these three women dancing above these goblets, which are overflowing into each other. And it just implies that your cups are kind of overflowing right now. This is a path to be celebrated. This is a move to be celebrated. This is a path you put in a lot of hard work. You're going to continue to be putting in a lot of hard, long work and perseverance and dedication. And boy, does it look like it's going to pay off for you. For some of you, this is going to represent the beginning of a path that's you're celebrating that's going to continue for some time. But since we have this all kind of within the month of March, for some of you, it just may be beginning and wrapping up within March as well. Although I get a feeling of longevity. We have that Ten of Pentacles and that Ten of Cups. Uh, but however it resonates for those of you watching Gemini, excuse me, it looks to be you're ending the month of March very happy, celebrating it. You've come full circle. You're perhaps having a party or attending a party. You just feel good. There's a lot to celebrate. And again, a very strong theme of family and happy, unexpected blessings. Things have really worked out to be better than you actually even thought about in the beginning. The Four of Wands also represents, unexpected blessings, things working out in a better way than you actually anticipated they would. Wands, the element is that of air and fire, which is a very dynamic combination. And Wands is a suit that's very dynamic. It's very action oriented. It's a suit that speaks of change, movement, action, power. The Four of Wands speaks of, again, this can also speak of an actual event or a celebratory thing, a party that you're planning or going to. Again, for some of you, you're going to be perhaps planning a party to celebrate the opening of a business, the acquiring of a new house, the starting of something else, the wrapping up and beginning of something else. There's something to celebrate. And for those of you for whom this resonates, you're going to have to message me on YouTube or send me an email and tell me how, because it's such a bright, happy looking thing. And it begins with this very difficult decision. So please share with me if you feel comfortable what this actually is. But again, there's this very strong theme of it benefiting and affecting not only you, but your family somehow, or those closest to you, those you consider as family. You can see that there is a family within this circle of wands, and they're kind of under this wreath of flowers, a man and a woman and a child. And it's just a beautiful day. And it speaks of something that you're already looking forward to, but it ends up being bigger than you thought, better than you thought. There's some kind of unexpected blessings, happy accidents, or something about it. It could represent an analogy could be that you're planning a party and you know the party's going to be good, or you're getting ready to go to a party and you know it's going to be fun, you're looking forward to it. But actually something ends up happening there. You make some unexpected connections, or that work out to be very beneficial and positive. This is just about more, better, something unexpected happening, but that's something that's better. So I think this decision that you made, Gemini, to end something that this isn't working for me anymore. I'm going to take control of my life, make this decision to move on. I'm going to begin to manifest my dreams outwardly. It looks like it's paid off. Again, new home for some of you, new job for others, new business, but something that affects your physical, tangible world. And it looks like it's been an excellent decision. It's very grounded. Again, home, you, family, the people that you love. And not only is it prosperous in terms of you're wrapping up the month celebrating, but also this is something, again, that has a very good longevity feel to it. This is something that's going to be lasting for quite a while. This is something that's really going to be built on, particularly if it's a new home or a family business kind of thing. You're beginning a new business, maybe aspects of your family are getting together to begin a new family business, or you're venturing out into a new arena within an already existing family business. Again, it's going to resonate differently depending on the Geminis that are watching. But what a beautiful path it's been, and so worth it. Now, we wrap it all up with your crowning card, which is another major arcana card, the High Priestess. And the High Priestess speaks of trusting your intuition. The High Priestess is a woman or a man. The energies of the High Priestess are this is somebody who is very spiritual and deeply, deeply, extraordinarily intuitive. This is somebody who fully trusts her own intuition. And it's a major arcana card too, and I actually feel like it's advice as well on this path, particularly in the beginning when you're reaching this point, or when you've reached this point, you've made this decision. I'm not happy with what I'm doing, or I'm done. It's served its purpose for a while, but it's no longer serving me now. I'm going to now begin to manifest the path that I want. I'm now going to be putting the practical aspects of my dreams into reality. The High Priestess is asking you to trust in your intuitive capabilities, trust in your creativity. If you have dreams that you feel have messages within those dreams, pay attention to them. They're sent to you for a reason, and there's usually something that you're supposed to see or look at. If you feel led in one particular direction versus another, pay attention to that. If something that somebody says just randomly sticks in your mind and you get a certain feeling about it, pay attention to that. It's typically a message being sent to you. The High Priestess asks you to trust in your own intuition. Trust in your connection to the divine, too, whatever your spiritual foundation is. If you feel like you're getting messages or feelings or something to go one way versus another, pay attention to that and trust in that because the High Priestess does. And it speaks of going within and really trusting in that divine connection and in your own intuitiveness and creativity. It looks like this path, Gemini, there may have been some aspects of it that were based just entirely on your intuition. Oh, I feel like I need to do it this way. And even though there may have been, it may have looked a different way from the outside, if you felt or feel um, like it needs to be manifested a certain way, pay attention to that because the High Priestess does, and that's why it turned out to be so successful because you've trusted in your intuition that has led you this far. And whatever decisions you've made up to now, I think some of them have been based on pure intuition. And the High Priestess is validating that, saying, continue that. Trust in your own intuition this month, Gemini, because it looks like it's going to pay off in a big way and for quite some time. And again, it's not just going to make you happy, but it's going to make your family and those around you happy. What a beautiful, bright reading. There's been a number of them in the signs I've done this month, and I'm very happy to see that. When I did February mid-month readings, there was a lot of just very dramatic, very profound, significant, a lot of stuff going on the last half of February, but it seems like not for all of the signs, but for a lot of the signs that I've done so far, there's just been a lot of lovely brightness, beautiful paths, some challenges here and there, but of course, how would we grow if we didn't have any? But overall, just a very beautiful, bright reading, Gemini. So good for you. Again, for those of you for whom this resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing feedback, I'd love to get the feedback. So please feel free to do so. And for those of you who are interested in having a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage for more information, and you can contact me at Maggie, the number one, McGuire at gmail.com. I appreciate your patience in my getting the March general readings out. And until I see you again in a couple of weeks for the mid-month readings, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy, happy life. Thanks for watching, Gemini, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.